What's up? It's your boy Mr. J coming at you with another geometry video. This video gets to 5 million likes. I will be giving out a free protractor signed by me and Mr. Bielsa. Look forward to that. I'm sure we'll get there. Yeah, so we have a little question here. This is the one that was on my board today. We're looking at a set of angles here. We have 3 different parts to this angle. 2 of them are marked. One's 20, one's 40 degrees, and the other one has a variable, and it's 5x plus 20 degrees. So we're looking at how we would solve such a thing. I'm going to show you 2 ways that I've been seeing in class, and both ways are equally good, and I have no opinion on which I'd like to see on the test. As long as you find the right answer and you have your work shown, I will be very happy. I'll be delighted. So I'm going to do the first way first, which is to look at this and say, oh, I see a supplementary angle. I see a full 180 degrees here. It's a straight line. So using that knowledge, I'm going to include my 180 degrees as my final answer on the right side of the equation. I mean, you could put it on the left side. It's not going to make a difference, but that's what I've been seeing the most. And now I'm just saying, okay, well, what equals 180? All this stuff. So the 40, the 20, and the 5x plus the 20. So I didn't just pull these numbers out of thin air. There's the 40 is the 40 degrees. The 20, first 20, is the 20 degrees right there. And then the 5x plus 20 is this third part of the equation. So you can see I've taken all sort of 3 angles here, 1, 2, and 3. And it doesn't matter which order they're in. I just went with that order. I'm not exactly sure why. Now the next step I would do is to sort of look through my equation and simplify all the numbers first. So I've got a 40, a 20, and a 20 all sort of in there with the 5x. I'd put them all together. So I'd go 40, 60, 80. And I would cross out as I go. For me, that's just a good strategy to keep track of what I've used and what I haven't used. So there's my 80. My 5x comes down, and my 180 remains untouched. My next step would be I don't want the 80 here. In algebra, you always want to keep your variable on one side and anything else on the other side. So I'm going to try to get rid of this 80. And since it's algebra and I can do whatever I want because I'm a mathematician, I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm just going to take away 80. I don't want the 80 here. And take it away, and that's leave with nothing. I've gotten rid of all my numbers. Boom. Now, of course, in algebra, you can't really just do whatever you want. You need to balance. So if I'm taking away 80 on one side, I need to take away 80 on the other side. And then I am okay. If you don't do that, I mean, a black hole is going to open up, and we're all going to die. It's going to be your fault. So, don't. Always balance your algebra. 80s are gone. My 5x remains. Or my whatever that letter is. There you go, 5x. And my 180 is no longer a 180. It is now just a 100. There it is. Okay, now this step seems to be the one people are getting stuck up on, and I get it. So we're saying 5 times what? This is not just 5x. It's 5 times x is 100. So what times 5 is going to give me that 100? You can sort of just start thinking about it. Well, if I did 5 times 10, it's only going to be 50. If you did 5 times 5, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 15, 75. You can sort of plug in different numbers, and you can use a calculator, of course. But I should sort of know that it's 5 times 20. So that's my answer. But as for the algebra behind that, why we do that, and I know it's not the algebra unit, but let's just get it out of the way. I'm leaving my x here, and I'm getting rid of the 5. And since the 5's right now is part of multiplication, over here it's going to be part of division, and I'm going to be left with 100 divided by 5, which is going to give me x equals 20. Another way to think about that is basically you take 5x and divide it by 5, and 5x divided by 5 gives me a single x, and then 100 divided by 5 gives me the 20. So maybe we'll do that with the second one. Okay, so here's the second way of doing this, and I've been seeing this a lot too. I think it's very smart. Kids looking at this and saying, oh, this is supplementary. It's a straight line. It's 180, but I've already got 40, 60 of it, which means this missing part has to be 120 degrees. 120, 140, 180. So my missing chunk has to be 180. So now instead of writing all this, we can really shrink it down and just say 5x plus 20 equals 120. Okay? Because 5x plus 20 is the same as 120. There it is in my algebra. So 5x plus 20 is 120. And then we just go through our same steps again. I don't want the 20. I take away the 20. I don't want a black hole to open up and kill me. So I take away 20 from both sides, and I'm left with 5x equals, 100, okay, which is the same step we got down here. It just took us one less step. Less work's always nice. I mean, it's not really less work. The work that we did in here was the work this person did when they said, okay, 20, 40, 60, so I'm missing 120. I mean, that's basically what we did in here. Not basically, exactly. So 5x is 20. So let's do this a little bit differently. So this time I'm going to divide this whole thing by 5 and divide this whole thing by 5, which is how we get rid of the 5, and we're left with just x, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. Okay? And for a test, I'd always double check my work, make sure it makes sense. So if x is 20, which we've discovered twice now, I really hope it is, then 5x plus 20 becomes 5 times 20 is 100, plus 20 is 20, so 120 degrees makes sense. It does add up to 180. If I got 190, or I got 6 million, or I got 37, I would know, whoops, I've made a mistake somewhere. I'd go back and check. For the test, please do show your steps, okay? If you just write x equals 20, I'll probably give it to you, I'm not going to lie. But if you write x equals 19, it's wrong. If you do all this work and make a simple calculation error somewhere and say x equals 19, I might give you full marks. So do show your steps, okay? Especially moving into high school, that's going to be important. Might as well get used to it now. All right, that's it. Hopefully we get up to 5 million views. Sick protractor. Don't forget to pound that like and subscribe. Just kidding, I don't care. Bye.